The question is often asked both of the Christian and by the Christian. On what basis can we rely on and trust the Bible? Where is the historical credibility for the Christian Bible? And of course, if we can establish the credibility of the Bible, then a number of other questions that relate to the Christian faith and the Christian worldview are dealt with and or fall away. So how do we test the credibility of the Bible? Well, we test its credibility in the same way that we would test the credibility of any historical document. It's a process called textual criticism that's used widely in academic circles, in history and ancient history. And it basically involves two broad approaches, two broad categories of test. The first is to find out how many of the early manuscripts we have of a particular text, because then we can check them against each other and we can see whether they've been doctored or changed over time. We can see whether the integrity of the original text has actually been preserved. Secondly, how close to the historical events that the text depicts were those early manuscripts? How early can we date them? And when it comes to various figures and writers throughout human history, textual criticism has been applied and it's been relied on and it's been proved to be very, very effective.
Let's take some examples from the writings of Caesar, Plato, and Thucydides from ancient Rome and Greece. For each of these writers, early fragments or copies date back to around 900 AD. That's between 1000 and 1300 years from when they were first written. And for each of these writers and each of these fragments or copies, only between 7 and 10 manuscripts exist and have survived.
Take another Greek writer, the writer Homer, responsible for the Odyssey, the Iliad, and various other well-known works. When it comes to Homer, we have 643 of the early manuscripts, and we can date them to within around 500 years of the life of Homer. Far, far more manuscripts and far, far closer to Homer's time of actually writing them. And then we look at the New Testament of the Bible, and we have more than 20,000 of the early manuscripts, some of which can be dated to within 100 years of the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus.
As per the words of the former director of the British Museum, Sir Frederick G. Kenyon, the interval then between the date of original composition and the earliest extant evidence becomes so small to be in fact negligible, and the last foundation for any doubt that the scripture have come down to us substantially as they were written has now been removed. Both the authenticity and the general integrity of the books of the New Testament may be regarded as finally established.